Alright, so now things are fairly terrifying because I'm coming back from a week. I have to turn all my sounds on because I've been off in design land. Designed a space platform. But I have this gleba. I'm happy with this gleba as it stands, believe it or not, as awful as it is, because it's small. I'm fairly okay with letting the radars do their thing right now, but I went back to Nauvis and did some checks and some designs. So one of the things I designed was a nice big spacey platform, but this needs to go because that was holding up this train. So when I did that check, this is how fast your quality stuff can actually stack up, frighteningly enough. So that's deadlocked this train line. And it's going to be okay because there's only a certain amount of this stuff if you can catch it. So that's a rough one. Because that's things coffee blames on coffee. A similar thing happened here where all of this normal stuff needs to get loaded in so that these mines can run. You know, what broke while I was away? Only everything. And me and trains are learning to get along with each other on this map because I had a lot of maps during pre-production where I didn't have to worry about a huge space, so I just went for belts. And learning is all in good fun. I'm learning now. So there's going to be some novice things, because once I get to a certain point on these various productions... Okay, where's the grid? It makes sense to have materials prepped for productivity science ahead of time. And I can't just leave that for later and be like, it'll be fine, you know. We're gonna do productivity science somehow. It's like, no, I need to have the start of that discipline being done now. Probably gonna lose some bots to deploying those turrets and cleanup, but alright. So on paper, it's like, yay, more production. In practice, it's like, oh my god, I've got so much stuff I need to do in 30 minutes. Because some of the stuff that I need to complete can be done as some kind of cheesy hack to a point. And then once you hit the other end of that point, it's like, well, the fun is over. Now pain begins. And that's one where it's like, and how deep are my powers of improvisation here to deal with this massive issue of it's all going to get real fast. So, all right, what other projects do I have? I remembered. Yes! More belts going away, and oh, that is this furnace stack done. I will have to get to fully deleting that later. Okay, this wants to become... This wants to be special, so... Each on green greater than 0, output each on red. And that way... Ooh. Ooh, this is going to be real dangerous. Because that would cycle. No. I'll just have to set it for... Sometimes the simple way is the best, and you're like, oh, I'll have this brilliant idea that will use up all of these things, but it's like, no, I'm gonna make a circuit cycle there. Hold the phone. Then I'll increase that to 50. Yeah, so stressing out because it's like, I could hack this, but I need an oil refinery, an actual, real, honest oil refinery. Oh. REF refineries. Okay, and I've only got 13. So yeah, that's another thing where... I need to check this over, make sure it actually works. As a tile. Well, halfway it does. That would be this half, where it's going and hopping over. So yeah, it's really gonna be something to get this done. I'll have that do 16 at the rare quality. And then as that gets done, do the same thing I'm doing up here. Give these guys business. Okay. That was still on the checklist. We're at 220 of those. And counting up. Alright, I'm gonna start a little stopwatch here, so I'm not always alt-tabbing out. It's been about 10 minutes. Maybe every 10 minutes, I'll go and have a little look at how things are on this planet. There could be a gap down here where enemies can get in. That's my main worry about this swamp. But this area presents an interesting opportunity because if I put in... How do I want to handle that? That'll be an interesting one. These interesting questions. Alright, first things first. I'm gonna pretend I know what's going on here. And I like that layout in general. So I can put a bunch of beacons on it. 1, 2. Ah! 1, 2. That's the relationship I want to keep. Then I have to figure out where the outflow of this is, and that's where things get interesting. Because by doing it like that, I get to keep a beacon lane. Alrighty, and then get it perfect. Make sure all of my pipes are nice and round. God, it is so hard to tell though. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Do. 1, 2. Alrighty. Put that one there. Put that one there. And then, well, take it like that. I'm just happy I get to listen to the Gleba music, to be honest with you. Whoever did that planet, they knocked themselves out with artistic beauty. Everything about it is perfect for what it's supposed to be. It's also the source of pain for many people, so I understand. Okay. I'm gonna build a railhead there. I guess I do need that second box now that the quality line's back up and running. It'll empty out eventually, whenever eventually is. Only 3 whole boxes of uncommon ores. Oh boy. And I would feel bad, except for I'm using every single chip I'm putting into this. So it's not like, oh, you know, so far behind. It's like, okay, this is a scary amount of raw material I'm dealing with here. Okay, pipeline has gone too long. Outstanding. That's kind of to be expected. Because we're joining here and here, so... And these roboports are going to be for the train yard, which is going to come in, and the plan is going to be for it to hit this outside edge. And then it's going to be 1-4-1s. So the reason why I'm going for shorter trains is because I'm thinking about a future with stacking belts. Sometime in the next 12 hours, I want that to happen, right? So it's like, ooh, cool thing in the future. Once I get to that future, life becomes extremely awkward. It's difficult to imagine good patterns for upgrading any of this equipment that I'm going to be throwing in here. So it's like, aha, I have this thing which I don't know how to make better. So that's one where ugh. It's stressful because I don't have a great playbook for how trains fit into space age yet. I have a playbook which has absolutely gigantic monsters in it. Once I have tons of input and output, but is that even sane? And then I have a playbook which is like pretty decent, which is small like 1-4-1s because it's like I don't need to care that much. It's a little heartbreaking because trains are really lovely. They're a really cool system. And like, yeah, things happen where I have to change the schedules around, but that's part of the fun. Something's always going to happen where it's like, oh, this could be... And no, that's just something that happened. Don't worry about it. But yeah, no, it's just with them, it's like really hard to see what the good playbook is. To be like, yes, this is how I, start to make funny voices at all. Okay, and when I practiced this, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I'll put a rail signal down here. I had to get some kind of idea of spacing for these. Because then, like, yeah, there's a train there, and if I did that right, there should be a 1-point gap. I'll let it build up, and then figure something else out from there. Because this is another area where it's just going to be better to run a short assembly line with a well-defined amount of material, and then have a belt coming down. And there's going to be somebody out there who's like, why? Why not just completely fill this mine up? And, you'll see. There actually is a reason for doing it this way specifically. And not going totally crazy around the edges. Right, so is that about 30? That's about 30. Because my game plan is, speaking of upgrades, all of this, I gotta plan to upgrade this too. So that's another one for the Plans and Schemes in 30 Hours book. And then I'll put a little join in here. And then, yeah, if it ever looks like I'm running too low on copper, I can just run a huge copper mine. Alright, did I finish up Project Space Belts, by the way? I did not. Okay. Well, that's gotta be sorted out. I'm thinking very carefully about how I want to do this, and that's why I'm taking so long to just drag and drop something down, honestly. I can just store that in a box. Let that be a constant stockpile up to the top. Let's see. Because, yeah, this is going very well. Ooh, there's 2 of them now. Neat. But there's like a million of these, so... What's going on here? Oh, that has to be filtered to uncommon plastic. Just trying to maintain my sanity with that line. Then I'll have to start keeping it over. Yeah. Could probably make chips out of that one too, at this point. And that might be what has to happen in order to overcome the inertia there. That should be... those drills when I get them. Do I substation? I think I substation right here.